What's going on, friends, friends, and family? It is yet another glorious day here in the United States of Siege, and it is way too early for me to be awake. However, uh, I'm fighting illness, and so my sleep cycle is all jacked up as I'm trying to sleep off whatever is attacking my sinuses, hence the whole nasal thing, right? But in my sleepless stupor, I started thinking about exactly why we as a populace are feeling so exhausted. So I went to ask the internet for a comprehensive list of headlines from 2026 so far, because it's only March, right? There shouldn't be that many significant headlines to compile, and the internet failed me. So I turned to Threads, and in particular, user space underscore ranger underscore O. I do recommend you follow because their daily recaps are pretty solid, right? And so starting using those recaps as a starting point, I started compiling a basic list that is by no means comprehensive of what we as Americans have dealt with, in a daily bombardment. And again, this list is by no means comprehensive, but I feel like if I tried to include February, this would be way over 5 minutes, right? So for our friends overseas wondering why we're not fighting back as actively, it's because this is all that we're fighting against. And remember, these headlines are just January. So, Keith Porter murdered in Los Angeles by ICE agents, an off-duty ICE agent, no less. Renee Good was murdered on video, shot 4 times, and denied medical care. The Department of Homeland Security and the government tried to frame that shooting as justified. Minnesota, at this point, has now been under siege for several days. Vance claims that ICE has universal immunity. The FBI actively stonewalls investigating the Good murder by Minneapolis police. DHS blocks congressional access to detention facilities. Kristi Noem officially initiated Operation Metro Surge, which added an extra, layer of ICE agents into a otherwise peaceful Midwestern city. ICE continues to escalate. Homan states that protesting ICE is an act of domestic terrorism. ICE is ordered in a memo that was leaked to film arrests for viral content. ICE then goes door to door in Minnesota, in Minneapolis in particular. ICE snatches legal citizens. Minnesota sues the federal government to remove ICE. The FBI seized evidence in the Renee Good murder. The White House demonized Renee Good's widow. Trump threatens to invoke the Insurrection Act. ICE, at that point, tear-gassed a family with an infant, necessitating care for that infant child who was foaming at the mouth and not breathing for an undisclosed period of time. The Epstein files at this point are still unreleased. America protests en masse, right? Like, people are starting to get really, really upset. ICE drags an elderly man out in the snow nearly half naked, and that was a mistake. ICE used Liam Ramos as bait in Minnesota, then detained him in Texas. Minnesota goes economically dark and starts laying the seeds for a mass walkout. ICE agents acknowledge that there's a hit list on video. Let's see. ICE executes Alex Preddy on video. White House tries to spin the narrative. Preddy, as a licensed gun user, is still demonized. The Sasha Riley testimony gains traction online. The files are still not released. Walz deploys the National Guard. Levitt blames Walz for Preddy because he encouraged filming. Ilhan Omar is attacked at a town hall meeting that she held. Border Patrol Union demanded Noem and Miller resign. Greg Bovino, head ICE agent, was removed. DHS funding blocked. Still has a $75 billion slush fund. Melania documentary premieres. Files still not released. Federal government shuts down ICE tracking apps. ICE continues to ignore court orders. Minnesota is still under siege. Homan will remove ICE in exchange for access to jails. Don Lemon was arrested. Some Epstein files were released. Trump is apparently ubiquitous in them. There's a partial government shutdown. Then a national shutdown occurred in protest of the government. StopIce.net hacked with users' info leaked to the feds. Trump sues the IRS for $10 billion. Liam ordered home by a federal judge, and the DOJ failed to redact victims in a massive Epstein file dump. And that was just January. Rise the fuck